Before we begin, give yourself a few minutes. Pause the thoughts running through your head. Gently put your phone down. Inhale slowly. Exhale a beat slower. Do this again. That's all. This isn't about learning anything new, but about returning to yourself. If you're here, you've probably wondered, why do I feel more tired the more I live? Why do I feel more exhausted the more I try? Why do I feel hurt the more I want to be good to life? If you've ever thought that way, this video might directly relate to the latter half of your life. Stay until the end to understand why the ancients believed that learning to hide oneself is the quickest way to change one's fortune. And if you appreciate content like this, subscribe to the Simple Philosophy channel to join us on this journey of profound reflection from ancient wisdom. When we are young, we believe that the more we express ourselves, the more valuable we become. The more we talk, the more we are understood. The harder we try, the more we are recognized. But after experiencing enough ups and downs, we realize a silent truth. Not everyone wants you to improve. Not every environment rewards hard work. And expressing yourself completely doesn't always bring peace. The ancients called this a drain on energy, a drain on strength, a drain on luck. Being inconspicuous is not about avoiding or being weak. Being inconspicuous means knowing when to withdraw, not showing off one's cards, not letting emotions show too clearly, and not exhausting oneself unnecessarily. The I Ching says that things reach their extreme and then reverse. The moon waxes and wanes. Water overflows when full. Similarly, when a person exhausts their strength in the first half of their life, they easily become depleted in the second half. Buddhists see the root of fatigue as attachment. Attachment to proving oneself. Attachment to being better. Attachment to seeking recognition. Each attachment pulls the mind outward. Over time, the mind becomes scattered and the body weakens. Taoists, on the other hand, emphasize that following nature preserves vitality. Avoid pointless striving. Don't strain yourself against things you can't change. That is the essence of self-restraint. When you learn to take a step back, speak moderately, maintain a calm mind, and keep your energy from scattering, you will find life begins to feel lighter. Clashes will no longer shake you violently. Gossip will no longer drag you down, and your luck will gradually change. This video doesn't promise miracles, but if you're tired, feeling lost, or trying too hard without finding peace, watch until the end. You might understand why the ancients said, knowing when to hide is knowing when to advance, and knowing how to protect yourself is protecting your destiny. 1. Most modern people live in a similar situation. They work hard all their lives, but have no money left in old age. Their bodies are weak. Their families are in discord. A lingering feeling of injustice remains. They look back on their lives and wonder, why, despite their best efforts, did they not find peace? Why are hardworking people often exhausted? Why are those who sacrifice so much often lonely? And why do they feel increasingly disillusioned the longer they live? From a young age, people are taught to strive, to be diligent, to be patient, to shoulder responsibilities, and to sacrifice themselves for their family, their community, and their future. They believe that if they work hard enough, life will reward them accordingly, but reality often doesn't follow that path. Many people dedicate their youth to work, trading their health for income, their time for status, and their peace for stability. When they look back, their bodies are no longer the same, their spirits are easily exhausted, their sleep is restless, and the money they've accumulated isn't enough to create a sense of security. This exhaustion isn't just physical. It's deeply ingrained in the mind. People begin to feel trapped. Trapped in work they no longer enjoy. Trapped in responsibilities they can't let go of. Trapped in the roles society has assigned them. When they're young, they think they just need to try a little harder. But as they get older, they realize that this so-called "a little harder" seems to have no end. Family is supposed to be a place of rest after the stresses of the outside world. Ironically, for many, family becomes another source of pressure. When money is scarce, stress easily arises. When the body is weak, irritability easily sets in. When everyone is tired, understanding becomes rare. Conversations become less frequent. Resentments become more numerous. Affection doesn't disappear immediately, but erodes little by little. Some people look at others and feel increasingly wronged. Some work less but live more comfortably. Some aren't overly diligent but have everything they need. Some don't shoulder too much burden, yet their families are harmonious. This comparison makes them feel that fate is cruel, that they were born at a disadvantage, that they were unlucky, that all their efforts seem to be merely maintaining their current position rather than striving for success. The ancients recognized this principle early on. They said that hard work is not necessarily a blessing, nor is patience a virtue in all circumstances. When people exhaust their energy chasing after external things without knowing how to restrain themselves, they will sooner or later become depleted. The issue is not whether you are diligent or not, but how you consume your life energy each day. Modern people often waste a great deal of time and energy on many things at once. They waste their bodies from overwork, their minds from constant worry, their emotions from catering to others' expectations, and their time on neglected relationships. Each small act of waste may not have immediate consequences, but accumulated over many years, it becomes a lifetime of exhaustion. The most dangerous thing is that people often don't realize they're running out of steam. They're used to enduring, used to comforting themselves that everything will be all right, used to putting themselves last. Only when their bodies speak out with illness, when their minds speak out with silence and emptiness, when their families speak out with conflict and coldness, only then do they realize the price has been too high. The feeling of injustice with fate is actually a sign that people have lived out of balance. When they give too much without retaining anything, when they advance too quickly without knowing when to retreat, when they expose themselves too early without sufficient strength. The ancients called this losing one's fortune. Fortune doesn't disappear in a single day. It leaks little by little through seemingly correct choices. Many people go through life without learning how to restrain themselves. They think that being kind means suffering losses, that being good requires patience, and that being responsible means bearing all the burdens. But ancient wisdom reminds us that only those who know how to restrain themselves can go the distance. Only those who know when to stop can avoid exhaustion. Only those who know how to withdraw can preserve their energy for the crucial stages of life. The reality of modern man, therefore, is not just a lack of money or physical strength. It's a lack of a deep understanding of how to live a long and fulfilling life. A lack of distinction between effort and depletion. A lack of the ability to recognize one's own limitations. And a lack of the courage to slow down when necessary. If we don't confront this reality, we will continue to repeat the same cycle, trying harder when we're tired, sacrificing more when we're exhausted, enduring more when we're hurt, and then wondering why fate hasn't smiled upon us. But perhaps the problem doesn't lie with fate. It lies in how we have used our own energy during the first half of our lives. Realizing this is the first step to change. Not to blame yourself, but to understand that living differently isn't wrong. Keeping to yourself isn't selfish. And learning to dim the light isn't giving up. It might be the only way to avoid repeating the same prolonged weariness in the latter half of your life. 2. After experiencing enough setbacks, people often begin to harbor deeper questions. Questions about the workings of heaven. Many silently wonder if heaven is truly fair. Why do those who strive suffer? Why do those who are quiet suffer? Why do those who show off live well? Why do those who talk a lot often benefit, while those who work hard receive little recognition? This question doesn't only arise during times of failure, but often rises most strongly when people have tried for a long time, yet the results are not as expected. In modern life, this phenomenon is ubiquitous. In the workplace, some people work diligently from morning till night, but their salaries and bonuses remain unchanged. Meanwhile, others who know how to express themselves and speak up at the right time are promoted more quickly. In society, some people live frugally and modestly their whole lives, but still lack financial security, while others who like to show off and flaunt their wealth easily attract opportunities. These images are repeated so often that people gradually form a bitter belief that hard work is no longer the path to security. From there, a dangerous thought began to sprout, that perhaps God was biased, that perhaps living a virtuous life was a disadvantage, that perhaps if one didn't boast, didn't compete, didn't push oneself forward, one would always be left behind. This doubt not only confused people, but also disoriented them. Because when faith in the natural order is shaken, people easily fall into two extremes. One is giving up. The other is becoming more extreme and burdened than before. Ancient people, observing life, had long confronted this question. They did not deny the sense of injustice that people felt. However, they believed that much of the misunderstanding stemmed from people viewing the way of heaven with too short a perspective. The way of heaven does not judge one thing, one person, one moment. The way of heaven considers the long flow of energy and cause and effect. Suffering and happiness do not always appear immediately after an action. Those who strive but suffer are often those who pour all their energy outward. They use more force than necessary. They give more than they can receive. They place their self-worth on the approval of others. Therefore, even if they achieve some success, they still feel empty and exhausted. Their suffering doesn't come from working hard, but from not knowing how to retain what they have. Conversely, those who flaunt their seemingly good lives are often those who know how to create opportunities. They don't necessarily possess stronger inner strength, but they know how to make themselves visible to others. In the short term, this gives them an advantage. They easily gain attention, support, and opportunities. But the ancients called this borrowing power to advance. Borrowing power is quick, but when the situation changes, it's easy to fall. The way of heaven does not reward the noisy or punish the quiet. The way of heaven operates according to the law of balance. What is consumed excessively must be repaid. What is borrowed excessively must be returned. Those who show off use their energy to gain attention. Without a solid foundation, their weaknesses will eventually become apparent. Those who strive use their strength to achieve stability. Without rest, they will eventually become exhausted. The problem is that people often only see the middle of the journey. They see those who show off enjoying success, but fail to see the hidden risks behind it. They see those who work hard suffering losses, but don't see the inner strength that could be built if they knew how to adjust properly. When people don't see the whole picture, they easily draw wrong conclusions about the natural order of things. The I Ching states that good and bad fortune are interdependent. The ebb and flow of fortune is constant. No state remains fixed forever. Those rising to power, if they don't know when to stop, will face a backlash. Those falling from power, if they know how to maintain their position, will eventually recover. The way of heaven is infallible. It's just that people are often impatient and want immediate results. Buddhists look at this issue more deeply, at the level of the mind. When people believe that God is unfair, they harbor resentment. Resentment breeds dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction leads to distorted behavior. When the mind is distorted, actions are distorted. When actions are distorted, the results are distorted. From there, people become even more convinced that they are being treated unfairly. This is a dangerous cycle. Taoism emphasizes that those who follow the Tao don't need to compare themselves to others. Comparison is looking sideways, while the way of heaven looks vertically. Comparison causes people to forget their own rhythm. Those who walk slowly aren't necessarily weaker. They might simply be conserving energy for a longer journey. Those who walk quickly aren't necessarily stronger. They might be expending too much energy without realizing it. When people deeply understand this, they will stop blaming fate. Instead, they will begin to observe how they are living. Are they pouring too much into things that don't nourish them? Are they striving only for recognition? Are they wasting their energy trying to keep up with others? These are the questions that will change their fortune. The way of heaven does not encourage meaningless asceticism, nor does it promote empty ostentation. The way of heaven merely reminds us that everything needs moderation. Effort without restraint leads to suffering. Empty displays without foundation lead to misfortune. Those who understand the way know how to adjust so as not to reach either extreme. When people stop doubting God, they will regain their peace of mind. When they no longer harbor resentment, they will see more clearly the path they need to take. And only then will they understand that the way of heaven has never been unjust. It's just that people often live hastily and look too closely, so they don't see the whole picture of their lives. 3. When one has accumulated enough experience, they will eventually arrive at a fundamental truth. The way of heaven is just. What makes life miserable is not because heaven is biased, but because humans have lived out of sync with the laws of nature. The biggest mistake is not how hard you try, but because you only know how to consume without accumulating. When consumption becomes a habit, suffering is no longer an accident, but an inevitable consequence. The laws of nature operate on the principle of balance. Accumulation precedes production. Preservation precedes use. No river flows indefinitely without replenishment. No body endures if it only gives without replenishing. No destiny is stable if life force is constantly depleted. The ancients observed this clearly, which is why they always prioritized nurturing over production. Modern people, however, often live in the opposite way. They produce before nurturing, use before accumulating, and give before they have enough. From a young age, people are accustomed to wasting their energy. They waste their strength working more than necessary. They waste their mental energy worrying about things that haven't happened yet. They waste their emotions trying to please others. They waste their time on relationships that bring no vitality. A little bit each day, a little bit each year, until, looking back, they don't understand why they've run out of energy. They think they've been abandoned by fate, but in reality, they've been draining themselves for years without even realizing it. The biggest mistake people make is confusing effort with exhaustion. Effort is using energy appropriately and with recovery. Exhaustion is using energy continuously without replenishment. Many people pride themselves on being able to withstand pressure, but pressure that is not released becomes a burden. Many people believe they are sacrificing for their family, but sacrifice without limits breeds resentment. Many people believe that patience is a virtue, but misplaced patience erodes self-respect and vitality. The way of heaven does not reward blind endurance, nor does it punish rest. On the contrary, the way of heaven always favors stability. Those who know how to maintain their pace will go far. Those who only rush forward will soon tire. Those who know when to restrain themselves will have strength for crucial moments. Those who reveal everything too soon often run out of steam before reaching the decisive stage. The ancients said that nurturing the body is the foundation of all things. But nurturing the body is not just about eating and resting. It also means not overworking, not staying up late for extended periods, and not sacrificing health for fleeting things. When the body is weak, the mind is easily disturbed. When the mind is disturbed, decisions are easily made wrong. When decisions are wrong, fortune naturally declines. This is a very clear chain of cause and effect. Cultivating inner peace is even more important. Modern people drain their minds a great deal. They worry about what others think, about judgment, about comparing themselves to others, about being left behind, about not being good enough. Each worry is a drain on their inner energy. Over time, the mind is no longer within itself. When the mind is no longer within itself, people are easily led astray, easily agitated, easily manipulated, and from there, their energy is further depleted. The ancients placed great importance on cultivating vital energy, ki. Ki here is not something vague. It is the state of inner stability. When ki is stable, a person speaks little but meaningfully, acts slowly but surely, and stands still but firmly. When ki is scattered, a person speaks much but empty-headedly, acts much but chaotically, and moves constantly without achieving anything. People with scattered ki are often very tired, but mistakenly believe they are trying their best. Cultivating virtue isn't about seeking praise from others, but about preserving one's own inner strength. When acting against one's conscience, the mind becomes distracted. When speaking of things one doesn't believe, one's spirit weakens. When conforming to things that don't align with one's true nature, inner strength leaks away. Many people don't realize that living against their true selves each day is a silent but very heavy drain on their inner strength. The way of heaven is fair in that it shows no favoritism in terms of accumulation or expenditure. Those who can save will have. Those who are wasteful will lose. There is no need for punishment. There is no need for clear rewards or punishments. Everything happens naturally. Those who know how to save will gradually find life lighter. Even if circumstances don't change, their mindset will be different. Those who don't know how to save will gradually find life heavier. Even if their income increases, they will still lack peace of mind. When people understand this, they will stop blaming fate, stop comparing themselves to others, stop asking why they are disadvantaged. Instead, they will begin to observe themselves. Where are they wasting their energy? What are they giving away too much of? Where are they unnecessarily straining themselves? What are they exposing too early? These are the questions that will lead to a change in fortune. Learning to conserve energy isn't about being selfish. It's about living wisely, knowing how to save your strength, knowing how to keep your word, knowing how to maintain your composure, knowing how to set boundaries, knowing how to save your energy for truly important things. When you stop unconsciously wasting energy, you'll be surprised at how much more you have than you imagined. And when you have energy, there's room to maneuver. Hiding within the wisdom of the ancients is a way of accumulating strength. Not everyone needs to know what you're thinking. Not everything requires a reaction. You don't always have to prove yourself. When you reduce ostentation, your energy will accumulate. When you reduce competition, your mind will be at peace. When your mind is at peace, your body will be healthy. When your body is healthy, your fortune will be stable. This is a very slow but very sure path. If you feel your life is wearing you down, if you feel you've given too much without ever keeping anything for yourself, if you're starting to suspect you're living out of sync, stay and watch the rest of this video. We'll delve deeper into how the ancients accumulated vital energy to maintain their fortune and gradually change their life rhythm so that the second half of their lives wouldn't be as exhausting as the first. And if you want to continue following these profound lessons, subscribe to the Simple Philosophy channel. Each video is a gentle reminder to live more slowly, to better care for yourself, and to persevere more on the long journey of life. 4. Imagine life as a container. Every day you pump water into it with your effort, time, money, and emotions. But that container has holes that you don't notice. The more water you pump, the faster it leaks. Eventually, you're exhausted from pumping, and the water level still doesn't rise. This is a very accurate image of the reality for many people. It's not that they don't try, but that they don't know how to preserve it. Money, blessings, and spirit are all silently lost. Many people live their entire lives in a state of constant pumping, working overtime, taking on extra responsibilities, carrying out other people's work, spending to compensate for emotional distress, pleasing to maintain relationships, proving oneself to keep one's position. Every action is like pumping water into a bucket, but because they never stop to check if the bucket is leaking, the result is always exhaustion and emptiness. The first hole in the barrel is the habit of spending emotionally. When sad, they shop. When stressed, they overeat. When feeling empty, they seek temporary relationships. Each time, money is spent, but their spirit is not compensated. Joy comes quickly, but disappears just as quickly. Afterwards, the feeling of emptiness is even greater than before. Many people don't realize that they are using money to patch a spiritual hole that will never be mended. The second flaw is relationships without limits. There are people who give a lot, but never dare say no. They fear offending others. They fear being judged. They fear being abandoned. They help beyond their means. They listen beyond their capacity. They sacrifice beyond boundaries. Initially, they think it's kindness, but over time, they realize they are running out of it, and no one is compensating them. Good fortune leaks through relationships that only know how to receive, not how to cherish. The third loophole is clinging to an unsuitable job. Many people work not for meaning or growth, but out of fear of change. They stay in an environment that exhausts them. Every day at work is a drain on their energy. Even if their income increases slightly, their bodies become weak, their minds are tired, and their motivation dwindles. This is a very dangerous type of leakage because it happens slowly and steadily. By the time you realize it, the container is almost empty. The fourth loophole is the persistent habit of negative thinking, complaining, comparing, resentment, self-blame. Each such thought drains a portion of one's life energy. Many people don't notice this because thoughts are intangible. But the ancients said that when the mind is disturbed, the energy dissipates. When energy dissipates, fortune declines. Hundreds of negative thoughts a day are hundreds of leaks that are never repaired. Money is like water in a bucket. Some people earn a lot but still don't have enough. It's not because they're not good at earning, but because they don't know how to save. They spend without a plan. They invest based on emotions. They lend without limits. They help others without principles. Every ill-considered decision is a new hole. Money goes out faster than it comes in, and they keep pumping it out by working harder without understanding why they're still short. Good fortune is the same. Good fortune comes not only from doing good deeds, but also from maintaining inner peace. When people are constantly angry, irritable, and envious, good fortune will leak away. Even if they do many good things, if their hearts are not at peace, good fortune will be difficult to accumulate. The ancients said that good fortune lies in stillness, and misfortune lies in movement. Movement here refers to a restless heart. When the heart is always agitated, good fortune has no place to reside. Mental health is the fastest leak, yet also the easiest to overlook. Constant late nights, no quiet time, no moments of solitude, no space to recover, too much information every day, too much noise, too much pressure. Mental health is like water evaporating. You don't see it flowing out, but the water level drops rapidly. Eventually, you find yourself feeling empty without understanding why. The most dangerous thing is that people often react wrongly when they see an empty tank. Instead of looking for the leak, they pump harder, work more, earn more money, take on more responsibility, endure more pressure. But the more they pump, the more it leaks. The harder they try, the more exhausted they become. And then they conclude that they are unlucky, that fate is merciless, that life is too unfair. The ancients didn't teach people to constantly pump water. They taught people to patch the bucket first. Patch it by setting limits. Patch it by saying no at the right time. Patch it by taking proper breaks. Patch it by cutting back on draining relationships. Patch it by adjusting spending habits. Patch it by maintaining a calm mind. When the bucket is no longer leaking, just enough water will fill it up. Some people change their lives not because they earn more, but because they stop leaking. They get more sleep, talk less, argue less, spend more wisely, give themselves more space. After a while, they are surprised to find that money starts to flow freely. Their spirits improve. Relationships become more relaxed. This isn't magic. It's the result of restraint. Remaining hidden within the wisdom of the ancients is like mending a broken barrel. Don't show off to avoid wasting energy. Don't talk too much to avoid distraction. Don't rush forward to avoid exhaustion. Don't reveal everything to avoid being drained dry. When people learn to hold back, things begin to change. They don't need to run too fast. They don't need to try to prove themselves. They don't need to strain themselves. Life doesn't require you to constantly pump water. Life only requires you to prevent unconscious leaks. When you know how to preserve wealth, good fortune, and spirit, even if you pump slowly, you'll still be full. When you don't know how to preserve them, even if you pump your whole life, you'll still be empty. Recognizing the leak in the container is the first step. Patching up each small hole is the only way to live a lighter and more sustainable life in the future. 5. In the wisdom of the ancients, there is a very important word that is often overlooked by modern people. Tongue. To conceal. Tongue means to gather, to store, to keep within. Not to display, not to spend completely, not to use to the very end. Tang is not opposed to fat, to develop. It exists alongside and complements fat. Development is necessary for growth, but for lasting success, concealment is essential. This is a natural law that favors no one. Observing nature reveals this pattern everywhere. In spring, all things flourish and grow. Trees sprout new leaves and buds. But in autumn, they begin to shed their leaves, collecting their lifeblood in their roots. By winter, they are completely dormant. They do not grow or show off. But it is precisely because of this dormant period that the tree has enough strength to grow again the following spring. If a tree only knows how to sprout and not how to dormant, it will die in the first cold season. Humans are no different from nature. When young, people need to develop strength, develop wealth, develop ambition, develop abilities, develop relationships. But the problem with modern people is that they develop for too long without restraint. They consider continuous development normal, necessary, and something that shouldn't be stopped. Only when their bodies signal a problem, their spirits collapse, and their families fall apart, do they suddenly realize their mistake, but it's already too late. Concealment is not about stopping completely. Concealment is about knowing when to withdraw. It's knowing when to slow down, when to be silent, when to hide one's strength, and when to not show off. The ancients said that those who don't know how to conceal their strength cannot retain their blessings. Because blessings are like water in a bucket. Constantly giving it away will deplete it. Concealing it will fill it. In modern life, the concept of retreat is often misunderstood. Many people think retreat means weakness, giving up, or not daring to compete. But in reality, retreat is a very high form of wisdom. Only those with foresight dare to withdraw. Only those who understand the rules dare not show off. Shallow people always fear being forgotten if they don't speak up. Profound people understand that silence at the right time is the way to preserve strength in the long run. First and foremost, one must protect their body. Don't use your health to exchange for things that are impermanent. Don't overwork yourself for extended periods. Don't stay up late constantly. Don't consider exhaustion a source of glory. When the body is protected, strength will be restored. When strength is restored, the long journey can be undertaken. Those who do not protect their bodies will sooner or later pay the price with illness. The next stage is cultivating inner peace. Don't let your mind be swayed by external stimuli. Don't react to every word. Don't let your emotions be carried away by gossip or slander. Don't compare yourself to too many people. When the mind is constantly agitated, energy dissipates. When energy dissipates, fortune declines. Cultivating inner peace means maintaining inner stillness, having a place to rest, having a place to return to. This is the foundation of perseverance. Concealing one's inner energy is something the ancients particularly valued. Here, energy refers to a stable mental state. When a person talks too much, explains too much, or proves too much, their energy dissipates outwards. When energy dissipates, others easily take advantage of them or test their limits. Conversely, a person who speaks little, acts cautiously, and doesn't show off, their energy accumulates within. Others naturally become wary. This isn't superstition, but a very real observation in human interaction. Saving money is also an important aspect. It's not about how much you earn, but how much you save. It's not about spending little, but about spending consciously. It's not about being stingy, but about knowing where to spend and where to keep. Those who don't know how to save money, no matter how much they earn, will find it difficult to be secure. Those who know how to save money, even with a modest income, will live comfortably. Conserving blessings is the most subtle thing. Blessings don't just come from doing good deeds, but from maintaining inner peace. When people are angry, resentful, and envious, blessings leak away very quickly. Conserving blessings means reducing emotional turmoil, avoiding arguments about right and wrong, and not letting small matters drain your energy. When the mind is at peace, blessings naturally accumulate. Ancient wisdom never advised people to only hoard without expressing. Expressing is essential for growth, but expressing must have a rhythm. After expressing, one must hoard, just as inhaling must be followed by exhaling, and after exhaling, there must be a moment to hold one's breath. The correct rhythm of life is a rhythm of both expressing and hoarding. Those who only know how to express will soon become exhausted. Those who only know how to hoard will not thrive. Wisdom lies in this balance. Many tragedies in life stem from speaking out at the wrong time, speaking out too early, speaking out too much, speaking out where it's not needed, talking too much when you don't have enough strength, taking on too much when you don't have enough power, revealing yourself too early when you don't have enough foundation. All of these are acts of speaking out without restraint. The consequences may not come immediately, but they will surely follow. When people learn to be discreet, they begin to live differently. They are no longer in a hurry. They are no longer afraid of being slow. They no longer worry about not being seen. They learn to keep their word, to conserve their energy, to maintain their pace of life, to set boundaries. And strangely enough, when they stop trying to push themselves too hard, opportunities come at the right time. When they stop competing, their position becomes more stable. When they stop showing off, others respect them more. Concealing your potential doesn't diminish your value. Concealing it helps preserve your value. Concealing it doesn't cause you to lose out. Concealing it prevents you from being depleted. Concealing it isn't about escaping from life. Concealing it is preparing for a more sustainable period of growth. If you feel like you've been speaking for too long, using too much force, talking too much, straining too much, perhaps it's time to learn to restrain yourself. Not to stop forever, but to slow down, nurture, and prepare for a longer journey ahead. Stay tuned and continue watching the next parts of this video. We'll delve deeper into how our ancestors used the concept of concealing or preserving to maintain their fortune and strength and live peacefully amidst a turbulent world. And if you feel these insights resonate with you, please subscribe to the Simple Philosophy channel. Each video is a slow but steady step on the path to a sustainable and profound life. 6. If one observes nature long enough, they will realize a very clear law. Everything that wants to endure must know how to contract. No development occurs continuously without a period of stagnation. No light shines forever without needing darkness. No life can be sustainable if it only knows how to open up without closing down. Nature has never rushed. and it has never missed its rhythm. The sun must set every day. No matter how brilliant it is, it cannot shine for 24 hours straight. When the sun sets, it is not the end, but a necessary rest. Thanks to the night, the light has enough strength to rise again the next day. If the sun did not set, if the light did not stop shining, the earth would be exhausted. Life would not be able to exist. This is not philosophy, but the law of survival. Trees are the same. Spring and summer are the seasons of growth. Leaves are green, branches stretch, flowers bloom. But in autumn, the leaves begin to fall. In winter, the tree stands bare. From the outside, it looks dead. But in reality, all its life force is being gathered in its roots. It is being stored. It is being preserved. It is thanks to winter that the tree is not completely depleted and dies. And it is thanks to this ability to gather energy that the tree can grow vigorously the following spring. Without winter, there is no lasting spring. Without setting, there is no rising. Without concealment, there is no sustained growth. This is the way of nature. And humans are also a part of nature. Unfortunately, modern humans often forget this. People today live as if they must shine forever. They must be active forever. They must constantly demonstrate. They must strive forever. They dare not rest. They dare not slow down. They dare not retreat. They fear that if they stop, they will be left behind. If they remain silent, they will be forgotten. If they withdraw, they will be seen as weak. This fear causes them to live against the laws of nature, and the consequence is a prolonged and unending exhaustion. In nature, no living thing operates continuously without a cycle of rest. Even predatory animals lie still for a while. No matter how strong a river's flow, there are periods of calm. The moon waxes and wanes. The tides rise and fall. This rhythm keeps all things from becoming exhausted. But humans have placed themselves outside this rhythm. Humans work all day. They absorb information all night. They think incessantly. Their emotions are never at peace. Their bodies never recover. Their minds never find rest. They expend energy without any winter break. There is no quiet time, no recovery period, no time for stagnation. And then they are surprised at how they are gradually depleting. But nature has never promised that anyone who defies its laws will endure. The ancients observed nature to learn how to live. They didn't see retreat as failure. They saw it as nurturing. They didn't see silence as weakness. They saw it as conserving strength. They didn't see concealment as evasion. They saw it as preparation, because they understood that constant expansion leads to depletion. Only concealment can sustain life. Life has its seasons. There are periods for progress and periods for decline. Youth is like spring and summer. It's a time for learning, working, and experiencing. But if you carry that rhythm through life, it will soon run dry. At a certain point, people need to learn to slow down. Less striving for self-improvement, less showing off, less chasing after the pace of others. That is the autumn and winter of spiritual life. Winter isn't about stopping completely. Winter is about slowing down, staying warmer, gathering energy, observing more, nurturing the roots. Those who don't accept the winter of their lives often fear the silence, fear the emptiness, fear not being seen. But it is this very fear that keeps them wasting away until they are forced to stop by illness or breakdown. Nature doesn't need encouragement to rest. It rests when the time comes. Humans are different. They usually only stop when they have no other choice, when their bodies fail, when their spirits collapse, when their families fall apart. But if humans had recognized nature sooner, they could have chosen to rest before being forced to. Things endure not because they are perpetually strong, but because they know when to be weak, when to retreat, when to calm down, when to wait. A river isn't strong because it's always flowing. It's strong because it has sections that are deep and sections that are shallow. Sometimes it rushes, sometimes it flows gently. Humans need to learn that too. Those who don't know how to restrain themselves often live stressful lives. They talk too much, react quickly, want to control everything, and want to maintain a constantly high pace. But a prolonged high pace will deplete their inner energy. Those who know how to restrain themselves live more slowly, talk less, don't react to every stimulus, and don't waste energy on unnecessary things. They are like the sun that sets on time, so they still have the strength to rise the next day. Nature doesn't strive for superiority or inferiority. It doesn't compare itself to others. It doesn't rush. It simply operates at its own rhythm, and that's why it's sustainable. When people begin to learn to follow that rhythm, they will find life lighter. Not because circumstances change immediately, but because they no longer force themselves to go against the current. If you feel like you've been shining for too long, illuminating too much, straining too much, it's probably not because you're weak. It's because you've forgotten that the sun must set, trees need winter, and humans need periods of retreat to continue to survive. Stay and watch the rest of the video. We'll delve deeper into how our ancestors learned from nature to live in harmony with the natural order, conserve energy, maintain good fortune, and walk more steadily in a world that constantly pressures us to hurry. And if you feel these reflections resonate with you, subscribe to the Simple Philosophy channel. Each video is a moment of quiet reflection for you to pause, breathe deeper, and learn to live sustainably, as nature has for millennia. 7. Ancient people viewed humanity as inseparable from the universe. They said that humans are a microcosm. What operates outside of heaven and earth also operates within the human body and mind. Heaven and earth have the sun, moon, and stars. Humans have vital energy, spirit, and mind. Heaven and earth have the cycle of day and night and the 4 seasons. Humans experience rise and fall, prosperity and decline, birth, aging, sickness, and death. When people understand this, they will no longer consider fatigue or decline as random occurrences. Everything has a deep-seated cause stemming from how we use our own life energy. Ancient people likened human energy to the oil in a lamp. The oil is limited. The light is produced by the burning oil. If burned moderately, the lamp can shine for a long time. But if the wick is turned up too high for immediate brightness, the oil will run out very quickly. The initial flame may be brighter than others, but the price to pay is a premature extinction. This is an accurate portrayal of many modern people. People today live as if oil is limitless. They stay up late for extended periods. They overwork. They are constantly stressed. They constantly expend their emotions. They react to every stimulus. They chase every pressure. They compare themselves to others. Each of these actions is like turning up the wick a little higher. Initially, they feel they accomplish more, faster, stronger, but they don't realize that the oil is running out very quickly. Essence, energy, and spirit are the 3 core energies of a human being. Essence is the material root, the foundation of the body. Energy is the functioning, the life force, the inner rhythm. Spirit is clarity, the mind, the ability to focus and perceive. When essence weakens, the body weakens. When energy is disordered, fatigue sets in. When spirit is scattered, anxiety arises. These 3 don't decline immediately. They are gradually depleted through unhealthy lifestyle habits. Many illnesses don't simply stem from bacteria or age. They arise from excessive energy expenditure over extended periods. Staying up late depletes vital energy. Worrying dissipates vital energy. Prolonged stress weakens the spirit. Initially, it's just fatigue. Then comes insomnia. Then digestive disorders. Then aches and pains. Then weakness. Finally, chronic diseases. This isn't a punishment from fate. This is the consequence of improper use of oil. Not only the body, but also destiny is affected. When energy is depleted, people lose stability. They become easily irritable, prone to making wrong decisions, easily agitated, easily trusting, easily manipulated, and easily make mistakes in work and relationships. These mistakes further deplete energy, creating a vicious cycle of decline that is difficult to escape unless the root cause is recognized in time. People with stable energy don't need to talk much. They don't need to prove anything. They don't need to rush. They're like a lamp burning steadily. The light isn't dazzling, but it's enduring. People with scattered energy tend to talk a lot. They act hastily. They react strongly. They want to be seen immediately. They want immediate recognition. But that's a sign that the oil is being burned too quickly. Ancient people placed great importance on self-care. They nurtured their vital energy through proper rest, sufficient sleep, and a balanced diet, avoiding overexertion. They nurtured their vital energy through deep breathing, maintaining a calm mind, avoiding meaningless arguments, and not letting emotions overwhelm them. They nurtured their spirit through silence, reducing information intake, comparisons, and unnecessary thoughts. All of these were ways to slow down the burning of vital energy. Modern people often only treat the symptoms. Tired, take medicine. Stressed, indulge in intense entertainment. Feeling empty, seek stimulation. But all of that only makes the fire flare up a little more before it dies out even faster. Very few people bother to go back to the root cause, the rhythm of life, habits, how we use our energy each day. When people begin to understand themselves as a microcosm, they will stop disregarding small signals. A sleepless night is no small matter. A prolonged period of depression is not a sign of weakness. Unexplained fatigue is not without cause. These are signs that the oil is running low, and the inner universe is sounding the alarm. The essence of ancient wisdom lies in lowering the wick of the lamp. Don't burn too brightly. Don't show off too much. Don't overexert yourself. Don't live too hastily. Don't react to everything. When the flame diminishes, the oil burns more slowly. The light doesn't disappear. It only becomes more enduring. And that is the light that helps people go the distance. Many people, after learning to slow down, have noticed something strange. They don't do less, but they do more effectively. They don't become weaker, but they get sick less often. They don't lose their value, but they are more respected. This isn't a coincidence. It's the result of stopping the unconscious burning of fuel. If you're experiencing prolonged fatigue, irritability, difficulty sleeping, emptiness, or feelings of depression, the problem might not be your circumstances, but rather that you've been burning too much energy for a very long time. Recognizing this isn't about fear, but about making timely adjustments. Stay tuned for the rest of this video. We'll delve deeper into how ancient people nurtured their vital energy and spirit to maintain health, preserve fortune, and prevent decline from the root. And if you want to join us in exploring content that helps you live more slowly, deeply, and sustainably, subscribe to the Simple Philosophy channel. That could be the first step in lowering your lamp's wick and keeping your light burning longer on your life's journey. 8. In the traditional Chinese medicine system, the kidneys are not just a physiological organ. They are considered the storehouse of life energy, the repository of essence, and the root of life. Ancient wisdom states that the kidneys store essence, which generates vital energy, qi, and vital energy generates spirit. When this storehouse is full, a person possesses strength, resilience, and the ability to withstand adversity. When this storehouse is empty, the body weakens, the mind becomes disordered, and one's fate declines accordingly. In traditional Chinese medicine, essence, tin, is not the same as energy, which can be easily replenished. Essence is something bestowed upon one at birth, known as innate essence. Throughout life, a person can replenish acquired essence through proper diet and rest. However, this replenishment is limited and cannot compensate for prolonged excessive depletion. Therefore, the ancients always emphasized nurturing rather than using, preserving rather than expending, and storing rather than revealing. Most modern people are unaware that they are depleting their vital energy every day. They think that only physical exertion harms the kidneys. But traditional Chinese medicine looks much deeper. Every prolonged anxiety drains the kidney's energy. Every excessive, pointless, or unnecessary argument causes vital energy to escape. Every outburst of anger burns vital energy intensely. Every excessive indulgence without moderation further depletes the body's energy reserves. Anxiety is the silent enemy of the kidneys. When people think incessantly thinking about the future, about past mistakes, about things beyond their control, the mind is not in the body, and the vital energy, qi, does not return to its source. The kidneys have to bear the burden of this deficiency. Over time, this leads to unexplained fatigue, cold hands and feet, memory loss, and insomnia. This is not simply a psychological problem. It is a manifestation of depleted energy reserves. Talking excessively is also a form of energy depletion that few people pay attention to. Ancient wisdom teaches that excessive talking dissipates vital energy. When one talks too much, especially when speaking in an agitated emotional state, vital energy escapes with the words. After speaking, people often feel tired, empty, and breathless. But they don't realize this is a sign of energy loss. Prolonged energy loss will affect the kidneys, as the kidneys are the root of vital energy. People who like to explain, argue, justify, and prove themselves often deplete their energy very quickly without realizing it. Anger is the quickest way to deplete vital energy. A fit of rage causes blood and energy to flow in reverse. The heart beats faster. Breathing becomes rapid. The entire system is strained. The kidneys then have to coordinate a large amount of energy to maintain balance. If anger is frequent, the kidneys don't have time to recover. Gradually, this leads to fear of cold, tinnitus, back pain, knee pain, and decreased vitality. But people often blame it on age. Excessive indulgence is also a serious form of leakage. Staying up late for entertainment, overeating, constantly pursuing pleasure, intense and rapid stimulation. All of these cause the kidneys to expend a large amount of energy in a short period. The stronger the pleasure, the higher the price to pay. After pleasure comes emptiness. After excitement comes fatigue. But people seek new pleasures to compensate, and the cycle of depletion continues. Traditional Chinese medicine views illness from its root cause. When the kidneys are weak, bones weaken, teeth deteriorate, hearing becomes impaired, hair turns gray prematurely, memory declines, willpower weakens, and people become easily discouraged, fearful, and disoriented. This is not just a health issue. It's a matter of life force. When life force is low, it's very difficult for people to stand firm against life's storms. That's why the ancients valued stillness. Stillness allows energy to return to its source. Stillness prevents the leakage of essence. Stillness brings peace to the spirit. It's no coincidence that those who live long lives often speak little, get angry little, have moderate desires, and live at a slow pace. They don't compete with the world. They don't waste themselves trying to prove themselves. They don't burn themselves out for the attention of others. They quietly preserve their energy reserves. Understanding this, people will no longer resent the injustice of heaven. Heaven does not take away anyone's essence. People drain it themselves without realizing it. Heaven does not cause anyone's downfall. People leak it through their small habits. When wise people realize this, they will begin to turn back to upholding their word, upholding their heart, upholding their spirit, upholding their rhythm of life. Self-restraint isn't about asceticism. Self-restraint is knowing when to stop, knowing when to be silent when there's no need to speak, knowing when to let go of emotions when they're not worth it, knowing when to rest when the body feels tired, knowing when desires arise. Each time we practice self-restraint in this way, our inner self is preserved. If you find yourself feeling weak despite not being very old, tired despite not doing strenuous work, or empty despite having everything you need, the problem may not lie in your circumstances. It could be that your life energy reservoir has been leaking for a long time. Recognizing this is the first step in self-cultivation, and also the first step in changing your destiny in a more sustainable way. 9. When the ancients said that if the root is weak, the branches will wither, it wasn't a threat or vague philosophy. It's a very real law of the human body and life. When the root energy source is weakened, all external manifestations are merely inevitable consequences. Modern people often only look at the symptoms. They treat illnesses, find ways to stimulate themselves when they're tired, and take brain-boosting supplements when their memory is poor. But very few people bother to look back at the root, which is silently eroding day by day. Osteoporosis is one of the clearest signs of underlying deficiency. Traditional Chinese medicine believes that the kidneys govern the bones. Bones are nourished by essence. When essence is abundant, bones are strong. When essence is depleted, bones are weak. Young people may experience bone and joint pain, fatigue, injury, and fractures. This is not simply due to heavy labor, but because the fundamental energy reserves have been depleted beforehand. Prolonged late nights, constant worry, and continuous stress are all silently draining essence without immediate warning. Forgetfulness is the second sign that many people overlook. They attribute it to being busy, having too much to do, or being old. But the ancients said that kidney essence produces marrow, and marrow goes to the brain, making the brain sharp. When essence is depleted, marrow is insufficient. When marrow is insufficient, memory declines. People begin to forget small things, then big things. They have difficulty concentrating, difficulty thinking deeply, and their minds feel like they are covered in a thin mist. This is not laziness. It's a weakening of cognitive energy from the root. Hearing loss is also a very characteristic symptom. Traditional Chinese medicine says that the kidneys open into the ears. When the kidneys are strong, the ears are sharp. When the kidneys are weak, tinnitus and severe hearing loss occur. Many young people experience hearing loss or tinnitus when tired, but they only think it's due to noise or ear, nose, and throat problems. They don't realize that this is a signal that their life energy reserves are dwindling. The ears are a very early warning window for the kidneys, but few people listen. Mental sluggishness is a cumulative consequence of underlying weakness. When both vital energy, spirit, and mind are depleted, people lose their agility. Thinking slows down. Reactions slow down. Learning new things becomes more difficult than before. Work becomes more prone to mistakes. They are no longer sharp. They are no longer insightful. What's concerning is that those affected often blame themselves for becoming less capable, weaker, and no longer as they used to be. They fail to realize that the problem lies not in their abilities, but in the depletion of their resources. When the roots are weak, the branches inevitably wither. Skin becomes dry and dull. Hair turns gray prematurely. Teeth weaken. Back aches. Knees ache. Willpower wanes. Spirits easily become discouraged. All of these are interconnected. Nothing is accidental. It's just that people are used to looking at individual parts instead of the whole. The ancients viewed humanity as a system. If one part weakens, others cannot be strong. The most dangerous thing is when a weak foundation leads to declining fortune. When energy is low, people are easily overwhelmed by circumstances, easily oppressed by others, easily bullied, easily drawn into gossip and controversy, easily make wrong decisions, and easily miss opportunities. These failures, in turn, further demoralize the spirit, creating a vicious cycle of decline from within. Outsiders only see bad luck, but the root cause lies in the fact that inner strength is no longer sufficient to withstand it. Many people lament that they lived decent lives, work hard, and harm no one. Yet the longer they live, the more tired they become, and the more they lose. They feel wronged by fate. But if viewed from the perspective of ancient wisdom, the problem isn't with the laws of heaven, but with the fact that they have wasted too much energy without knowing how to preserve it. When the foundation is empty, even when opportunities arise, they lack the strength to seize them. Even when they meet benefactors, they lack the energy to connect with them. Therefore, the ancients placed nurturing one's roots above all else. Nurturing one's roots is not about escaping life or shirking responsibility. Rather, it means living with moderation, rhythm, knowing when to stop, when to rest, when to restrain oneself. It means not saying everything, not overdoing things, not getting angry without reason, and not worrying about things beyond one's control. Each of these actions is like mending invisible holes in one's energy reservoir. When the roots begin to be nurtured, extraordinary things happen. Memory becomes clearer. The mind becomes sharper. Sleep is deeper. The body recovers faster. The spirit becomes more stable. People don't need to try as hard as before, but the results are better. Not because life is easier, but because the inner strength is sufficient to support it. If you're experiencing symptoms like forgetfulness, tinnitus, back pain, knee pain, slow thinking, or low spirits, don't blame yourself or panic. Consider it a reminder that the root cause needs attention. It's still not too late if you start taking steps to address it. Preservation is not selfishness. Preservation is wisdom. Preservation is for the long haul. Preservation prevents the flame from withering prematurely. Preservation ensures that the latter half of life is not lived too hastily. The ancients said that those who know how to nurture their roots understand the way of life. If you want to understand more deeply how to maintain your roots, preserve your spirit and energy, and maintain your inner strength in a society full of drains, please continue watching the next parts of this video. And if you find these insights resonate with you, please subscribe to the Simple Philosophy channel and share the video with those you care about. Sometimes, just one understanding of your roots is enough to change the course of a lifetime. 10. When the ancients spoke of destiny, they never separated inner strength and way of life. The I Ching Book of Changes has a very famous saying, "A hidden dragon does not use its tools." The image of a dragon hidden underwater, not yet soaring into the sky, is not because it is weak, but because the time is not yet right. The dragon is still a dragon. Its strength is still full. But if it soars at the wrong time, it will encounter headwinds and be struck by lightning. Therefore, hidden means to hold on, and tools means not yet to use. That is a very profound wisdom about destiny. People today often misunderstand the meaning of strength. They think that strength means showing off, being superior to others, speaking up, and occupying a position. But the ancients saw it differently. True strength is being able to advance without needing to advance, to develop without rushing, to act without showing off. It is being able to master one's energy and not letting circumstances drag it down. The I Ching views destiny as a flowing stream. There are ups and downs, favorable and unfavorable times. Those who follow the way do not try to resist the flow. When the time is right, they advance. When the time is not yet right, they hold back. Holding back is not fear. Holding back is preserving strength, preserving power, preserving one's mind. Those who do not know how to hold back often use all their strength when it is not yet necessary. When the time truly comes, they no longer have the strength to move forward. The state of being a hidden dragon is very difficult for modern people. It goes against the psychology of wanting to be seen, to be recognized, to be proven. But it is precisely this impatience that depletes one's destiny the fastest. The more impatient a person is, the more likely they are to make mistakes. The more ostentatious a person is, the more likely they are to attract attention. The more revealing their cards are, the more likely they are to be attacked. This is a very cold law of society and also a law of heaven. The ancients taught that strength that is flaunted is easily broken. Hardness that lacks flexibility is easily shattered. Truly strong people don't need to prove their strength. They are like deep water, calm on the surface, but a powerful current beneath. They don't argue about right and wrong in small matters. They don't engage in unnecessary confrontations, knowing that each such confrontation depletes their luck. Being discreet doesn't mean bowing down and accepting defeat. Being discreet means knowing how to choose your battlefield, knowing when to speak and when to remain silent, knowing when to advance and when to retreat, knowing when to save your trump card for when it's truly needed. Those who don't know how to be discreet often use it all up from the start. Those who know how to be discreet always have a way out, and that way out is the foundation of a sustainable path forward. In the I Ching, the Kian hexagram is the strongest. But even within the Kian hexagram, the dragon doesn't always fly. There are periods of dormancy, periods of manifestation, periods of flight, and periods of retreat. This serves as a reminder that even pure yang power must operate in rhythm. Going out of rhythm leads to disaster. Those who don't understand this often blame heaven when they encounter difficulties. But in reality, they have flown at the wrong time. Many talented people have unsustainable luck. It's not because they lack ability, but because they don't know how to be discreet. They speak too soon, show off too much, and rise to prominence too quickly. They draw attention to themselves before they are strong enough. When storms come, they have nowhere to hide, no support. That's the price of using everything without preserving it. Wise people understand that destiny comes not only from luck, but also from the ability to endure over time. Endurance is not resignation, but accumulation. Accumulation of strength, accumulation of experience, accumulation of vision. When the time is right, everything will naturally fall into place. There's no need to fight for a position. There's no need to shout for a voice to be heard. Hiding oneself is also a way to avoid trouble. In a complex society, the target is often the one who reveals themselves, reveals greed, reveals skill, reveals emotions, reveals ambition. Those who know how to hide make it impossible for others to guess their depth. They don't know their limits. They don't know their trump cards. And it is this uncertainty that creates a safe distance. This is not a trick. This is a survival instinct that the ancients have distilled into wisdom. The saying, "Hidden dragon's useful mind," is therefore not advice to live a cowardly life, but rather a reminder to live wisely. Wise to protect oneself, wise to go far, wise to avoid wasting one's destiny on unnecessary conflicts. Those who understand this are usually quiet, but very difficult to sway. Not conspicuous, but very difficult to replace. If you look back at the lives of those who have gone the distance, you'll see they all had a period of silence, a period of unnoticed existence, a period of quiet preparation. They didn't disappear. They simply retreated. When they reappeared, they were different. They stood firm without needing to compete. They possessed power without needing to show off. When you begin to understand that the hidden potential is wisdom, you will no longer be impatient about not seeing what you've seen. You won't feel inferior because you're still below. You'll know that sometimes not using something is preserving your opportunity. Sometimes stepping back is preserving your strength. And sometimes silence is the deepest answer. Fate doesn't hate the strong. Fate only tests those who don't know how to use their strength at the right time. When you learn to remain hidden without losing yourself, to gather without fear of scarcity, to hold on without fear of falling behind, you are very close to the wisdom left behind by the ancients. And that is the path that makes a person strong, not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. 11. In the vast storehouse of ancient wisdom, there is a warning repeated through generations. Revealing wealth and riches inevitably invites misfortune. This is not superstition, nor is it a scare tactic for the poor. It is a very insightful observation of human nature and the laws governing society. Many tragedies in life do not begin with failure, but rather with the very moment of success. There are people who struggle their whole lives. When they are poor, they are humble. When they have nothing, they live discreetly. But as soon as they have a little money, a little achievement, or escape poverty, they immediately change. They show off their house, their car, their income, their connections, their lifestyle. They don't realize that at that very moment, they have placed themselves under a very harsh light. And that light not only illuminates, but also burns. When someone who has recently become wealthy shows off, they often think they are sharing their joy. But in the eyes of others, it's a comparison. It's pressure. It's hurt. It's a threat. Not everyone is generous enough to celebrate the success of others, especially when they themselves are struggling. Showing off quickly breeds jealousy. Jealousy breeds resentment. And resentment breeds action. Some people don't harm you directly, but they speak ill of you behind your back. Some say nothing, but wait for an opportunity. Some try to bring you down. Some secretly sabotage you. Some take advantage of your vulnerability to profit. You don't see it immediately, but the undercurrents begin to surface the moment you reveal your wealth. The ancients said that the poor can easily preserve their lives, while the rich find it difficult to protect themselves. It's not that money is bad, but that money reveals a person's true nature. When you have money, you become a target for borrowing, a target for exploitation, a target for envy, a target for scrutiny. And if you also show off, you're essentially inviting it all. There are many real-life stories that illustrate this. A person starts a business for a while. Before their business is established, they boast about their income. Before they've accumulated wealth, they upgrade their lifestyle. Before they've built a foundation, they build a storefront. As a result, when the market reverses, they are caught off guard. When problems arise, they have no one left to genuinely help them. When it's time to withdraw, it's too late. Those who applauded them when they boasted are now the quickest to turn their backs. Showing off wealth isn't just about flaunting money. Showing off wealth is also about showing off ability, connections, power, plans, and trump cards. Newly successful people often love to prove themselves. They want the whole world to know they've changed. But this haste causes them to lose their biggest advantage: unpredictability. When others know too much about your strengths, they also know your weaknesses. In the ancient I Ching, the concept of concealment, or hidden, is always emphasized. Concealment is not just about keeping money. It's also about preserving one's spirit, maintaining one's position, and preserving one's intentions. Those who know how to conceal are like deep water, quiet yet unfathomable. Those who don't know how to conceal are like shallow water. A single stone is enough to reveal the bottom. In a complex society, being seen through too quickly is very dangerous. Many people fail not because of a lack of ability, but because others know too well what they're doing. Plans are disrupted, paths are blocked, weaknesses are exploited. It all starts with talking too much and showing off too soon. When you reveal all your light, you also reveal the shadow behind you. The ancients once said that those who lack virtue but enjoy great fortune will find that fortune turns into misfortune. Virtue here doesn't just refer to morality, but also to the ability to withstand hardship, to endure scrutiny, envy, and change. Those who have just become wealthy often haven't had time to build inner strength or a protective system, yet they upgrade their lives too quickly. That's why many who become rich quickly also fall just as fast. Excessive spending can also change a person's inner self. When they become accustomed to admiration, they easily become addicted to that feeling. When they become accustomed to praise, they find it difficult to accept criticism. When they become accustomed to spending, they find it difficult to regain self-control. And when their luck starts to decline, they no longer have the courage to humble themselves. This leads to a series of wrong decisions. Intelligent people see this very clearly. They have money but live simply. They are capable but speak little. They accomplish things but don't boast. They let the results speak for themselves, not because they are afraid of others knowing, but because they understand that security is more important than satisfying their ego. Sustainability is more important than ostentation. In modern society, social media makes revealing wealth even more dangerous. A photo showing off a house, a luxurious trip, a story about income. All of these can spread very quickly to people you don't even know. Some will congratulate you, but others will remember it. Remember it to compare. Remember it to be envious. Remember it to wait for you when you are vulnerable. The ancients didn't teach people to live in misery. They taught people to live discreetly. Discreetness doesn't mean hiding or being secretive. Discreetness means not showing off. It means not provoking greed and envy in others. It means not putting yourself in a position of constant defense. When you don't show off, you naturally have fewer enemies. When you have fewer enemies, you are naturally safer. Looking back at those who have taken the long road, you'll see they're very discreet in the beginning. They don't rush to show off their achievements. They focus on strengthening their foundation. Once it's solid enough, even if others know, it's not easy to shake their resolve. That's the difference between those who understand the way and those who only see immediate gain. The story of revealing one's wealth isn't meant to scare successful people. Rather, it's to remind us that success must be accompanied by wisdom. Having money without knowing how to keep it becomes a burden. Having good fortune without knowing how to conceal it turns it into misfortune. Knowing how to live more modestly when you've just risen to a high position is the safest way to protect yourself. From the outside, you might think you don't dare to live life to the fullest. But those who understand will know you're protecting your destiny. The ancients said, "Tall trees catch the wind." It's not about cutting down the tree, but about knowing how to bend it. Only by knowing how to bend can you stand tall for a long time. And that is the deepest wisdom hidden behind the story of wealth and fortune that our ancestors left for posterity. 12. When discussing hidden wisdom in the modern world, it's difficult to find a clearer and more compelling example than Warren Buffett. He is one of the richest people on the planet. He possesses an enormous fortune, far-reaching influence, and financial power that many people only dream of. But what would make even the most ancients nod in agreement isn't the amount of money he has, but how he lives with it. For decades, Warren Buffett has lived in the same house he bought very early on. An ordinary house, not luxurious. No grand mansion, no ostentatious display of status. He eats simply. He dresses simply. His daily routines are stable. Without prior knowledge, many people wouldn't recognize him as one of the world's leading billionaires. That's not a coincidence. It's a conscious choice. Many people, when they have money, immediately upgrade their lifestyle. A bigger house, a more expensive car, more extravagant spending. They think it's a well-deserved reward. But Warren Buffett chooses to do the opposite. He maintains a minimalist lifestyle as a natural cover. No need to hide money in a safe. No need to conceal it on paper. Simply not showing off avoids much of the unnecessary attention. Concealing wealth through a simple lifestyle is a very modern form of discreetness. When there isn't a huge disparity in appearance, others won't be tempted by greed or envy. There's no scrutinizing gaze, no pressure to prove anything, no need to maintain a luxurious image. As a result, energy is saved for things that are truly important. Warren Buffett doesn't waste energy on showing off. He doesn't need to create an image. He doesn't need to follow trends. He doesn't need to expend mental energy maintaining a glamorous lifestyle. All his intellectual energy is focused on one thing: long-term accumulation. Read, think, analyze. Wait, make the right decision at the right time. This is the key to his financial success. When people live a minimalist lifestyle, they not only save money, but also their minds. Fewer possessions mean fewer worries. Fewer desires mean less turmoil. Fewer comparisons mean less anxiety. A calm mind leads to wise decisions. Wise decisions lead to a long and successful life. This is a very clear logical sequence that our ancestors spoke of thousands of years ago, and it remains true today. Buffett has repeatedly emphasized that he doesn't need many things to be happy, and that's what gives him freedom. Freedom from social pressure, freedom from judgmental stares, freedom from having to chase the image of a rich person. That freedom is the foundation for his patience over decades in investing. Patience is something that those who expend energy will never acquire. Many people fail in investing, not because of a lack of knowledge, but because they can't stand the wait. They are impatient. They are afraid of missing out. They want quick results. And it is this impatience that causes them to lose money. Warren Buffett can wait a long time because he doesn't waste energy on external things. He doesn't need to prove his wealth. He only needs his assets to grow sustainably. A simple lifestyle is also a way to protect one's personal destiny. When one doesn't show off, they are less targeted, less subject to false expectations, less drawn into relationships for personal gain, and less bothered by unnecessary demands. Energy is saved for building true value. This is something that many people who become rich quickly, but also fall just as quickly, fail to do. Buffett is also proof that wealth doesn't require living differently from others. Being different doesn't create value. Value comes from the right mindset and consistent behavior. When people focus their energy on what's inside rather than outside, they can go very far. The ancients called this cultivating inner strength. Those who cultivate inner strength usually don't need to show off their outward power. In Eastern philosophy, it is said that the wealthiest people live simply. The more money they have, the simpler their lives become. This is not because they are stingy, but because they understand that complexity is the source of waste. Buffett understands this very well, even though he doesn't use archaic language. But his actions are the most vivid proof of this. Hiding assets isn't about fear of loss. It's about preventing them from becoming a psychological burden. Only when money doesn't control people's emotions can they truly master it. Only when lifestyles aren't excessively high can people withstand unforeseen changes. That's why Buffett has been able to weather many crises and still remain strong. From an ancient perspective, Warren Buffett is someone who understands the principle of concealing in modern life. Concealing wealth, concealing spirit, concealing one's heart, not using everything, not revealing everything, not burning everything. Thanks to this, long-term accumulation has become his greatest advantage, not only in finance, but also in destiny. This example reminds us that having a lot doesn't necessarily mean you have to use a lot. Being powerful doesn't mean you have to show it off. Knowing how to preserve what you have is the highest form of wisdom. Outsiders may not understand, but time will tell who lasts longer. And that is precisely the message the ancients wanted to convey through the word tong, to preserve, hold. A simple word, yet enough to preserve something for a lifetime. 13. When the ancients spoke of concealment, they didn't view it as an abstract concept detached from life. Concealment isn't found in books. It resides in every word, every action, every daily habit. Those who understand concealment don't need to live in seclusion. They remain in the midst of life, but they know how to withdraw appropriately. And it is this withdrawal that creates lasting strength. In daily life, the concept of concealment can be summarized in 4 very specific and practical aspects. Firstly, there's the concept of concealing intelligence. Truly intelligent people rarely show off their intelligence. They don't argue about right and wrong in conversations. They don't rush to demonstrate their knowledge. They don't need to compete verbally, because they know that each time they display their intelligence, they elevate themselves in the eyes of others. When others clearly see your sharpness, They will become wary, begin to compare themselves to others, become envious, and start looking for ways to control or eliminate you. The ancients said, "Great wisdom appears as foolishness." The deeper a person's understanding, the simpler they appear. They let others speak. They listen more. They only speak when necessary, not because they don't know, but because they don't want to waste energy proving themselves. Those who are reserved save their wisdom for major decisions, not for petty arguments. Because of this, they have fewer enemies, fewer conflicts, less scrutiny, and when they need to use their intellect, they still have ample strength. Secondly, concealing wealth means not flaunting money. Money is the easiest thing to reveal one's fortune. When you show off your money, you not only let others know how much you have, but you also inadvertently invite greed, envy, and unhealthy relationships. Ancient people strongly discouraged revealing wealth, not because they feared losing money, but because they feared losing peace of mind. Those who know how to be mindful of their wealth tend to live more simply than they are. They don't upgrade their lifestyle too quickly. They don't let outward appearances overshadow their inner substance. They understand that money only truly matters when it provides stability, not when it creates pressure to maintain an image. When people don't flaunt their wealth, they are less likely to be taken advantage of, less likely to be compared to others, and less likely to be drawn into unreasonable demands. Their mental energy is therefore preserved. Thirdly, emotional restraint means maintaining emotional stability. Emotions are a form of energy that is depleted very quickly. Every time you get angry, you burn energy. Every time you are sad for too long, you leak your spirit. Every time you are excessively happy, you experience dramatic ups and downs. People who don't know how to restrain their emotions often live according to their feelings. They react immediately, speak immediately, and make decisions immediately. But this very quickness often comes at a long-term cost. A person who maintains emotional composure is not emotionless. They still feel everything, but they don't let emotions guide their actions. They pause for a moment before speaking, before reacting, before making a decision. That pause is where they conserve energy. When emotions aren't fully revealed, inner strength isn't dissipated. People who maintain emotional stability are usually very difficult to attack, very difficult to manipulate, and very difficult to be drawn into the whirlwind of controversy. Fourth is the principle of maintaining health, which means knowing how to maintain the body according to the natural cycle of day and night. This is the deepest foundation, yet also the most overlooked. Ancient people considered day and night to be the great rhythm of the universe. For humans to be healthy, they must follow this rhythm. Activity during the day, rest at night. Empowerment is key during daylight hours, and retention is crucial during darkness. However, modern people often do the opposite. Stress during the day, stimulation at night, staying up late, overthinking, and exhaustion. Maintaining physical health means knowing when to sleep, when to stop when tired, when to eat and drink moderately, and not pushing the body beyond its limits for too long. Those who don't know how to maintain physical health may be strong in the short term, but are very likely to decline in the long term. When the body declines, the spirit declines. When the spirit declines, one's destiny becomes unstable. Maintaining physical health is the foundation for everything else. These four methods of concealment are inseparable. Concealing clumsiness helps maintain wisdom. Concealing wealth helps maintain peace. Concealing emotions helps maintain spirit. Concealing life helps maintain one's roots. When these four things are preserved, a person naturally becomes more stable. They can stand firm for a long time without much effort. They can have a position without competition. They can have power without ostentation. The important thing is that inner strength doesn't diminish a person. Inner strength makes a person deeper. Just as a tree with deep roots fears no strong wind, a person with profound inner strength fears no storms of life. The ancients didn't teach people to live a lowly life. The ancients taught people to live with resilience. In today's draining society, knowing how to be discreet is like knowing how to keep a fire burning through a long night. Not letting it flare up, not letting it die out, keeping the flame burning steadily, bright enough to keep going, enduring enough to keep going. If you begin practicing discretion in small things every day, you will find yourself less tired, less anxious, less easily pulled along. And that is a sign of someone gradually regaining control of their own life. 14. When a person truly understands and practices the concept of concealing or cultivating, the results come quietly but clearly. It's not like a miracle appearing overnight. It's like an underground stream gradually enriching the soil. Initially, it's just a feeling of lightness. Then it becomes more stable. Then it becomes more sustainable. And finally, life naturally shifts in ways they themselves never expected. The first and most noticeable result is that the family becomes more harmonious. People who know how to contain their emotions tend to bring less external pressure home. They don't vent their fatigue on their loved ones. They don't turn work stress into unwarranted irritability. Because they know how to keep their emotions outside the door. They maintain a calm mind when they enter their private space. When one person in the family changes their pace of life, the whole atmosphere changes with them. Words become softer. Reactions slow down. Small conflicts no longer escalate into big ones. A family doesn't need overly profound moral principles. A family needs someone who knows when to stop, who knows when to be silent when necessary, and who knows how to listen instead of contradicting. Those who are naturally adept at controlling their emotions can do that. They don't need to strive to be perfect. They just need to avoid wasting their emotions. And that stability creates a sense of security for those around them. When a family is peaceful, all relationships become calmer. The body also clearly reflects the results of self-restraint. When people sleep at regular times, talk less, think less, avoid pointless arguments, and don't strain themselves to prove anything, their bodies will recover in the most natural way. Breathing becomes deeper, sleep becomes more uninterrupted, the mind clearer, vague aches become less frequent, and feelings of heaviness lessen without drastic intervention. Traditional Chinese medicine calls this the self-regulation of qi and blood. When the kidneys are no longer constantly depleted, they begin to recover. Essence no longer leaks as much as before. Qi is no longer scattered. The spirit is no longer restless. The person enters a state of light body and peaceful mind. Not because the problems disappear, but because the inner strength is now sufficient to contain the problems without collapsing. Their financial fortune also changes in a very special way. Those who know how to be thrifty usually don't make money recklessly. They are not impatient. They are not greedy for quick gains. They are not swept away by temporary temptations. Therefore, they avoid many risks that others don't see. When opportunities arise, they are alert enough to recognize them. They have enough patience to wait, and they have enough inner strength to hold on to them for the long term. Good fortune doesn't fall from the sky. It comes when people stop destroying themselves, when their energy isn't wasted on gossip and conflict, when decisions aren't driven by emotions, and when relationships aren't tainted by superficial self-interest. Such people are easily trusted, easily given tasks, and easily retain money. And once they retain it, the money can grow. There's a subtle observation that our ancestors made long ago. A person's energy field determines what they attract. A hot-tempered person attracts trouble. Anxious people attract instability. Boastful people attract envy. Conversely, calm people attract calm people. Stable people attract stable opportunities. Those who are thrifty attract lasting things. Magnetic field is not an abstract concept. It's the sum total of breathing, eye contact, speech, reactions, and habits. When a person is aware of their magnetic field, it becomes calmer, slower, and deeper. Others who interact with them will feel comfortable, trusting, and less pressured. And in society, those who create a sense of security always have a place. Therefore, destiny cannot be changed by prayer. Destiny changes when the energy field changes. The energy field changes when the way of life changes. And the way of life changes when people learn to conserve their energy. There's no need to change major circumstances. Just change how you use your energy each day. Don't use it all up. Don't say everything. Don't reveal everything. Don't burn it all out. Those who know how to be patient often move a little slower than others. But they stumble less, fail less, and have to start over less often. When faced with adversity, they don't panic. When things go well, they don't become complacent. This is because their minds are accustomed to maintaining balance. Balance is the foundation of stability. Stability is the foundation of a secure and prosperous life. Looking back at those who have lived stable, long-term lives, you'll see they weren't particularly outstanding at any particular stage. But overall, their lives were relatively free of major upheavals. Their families didn't fall apart. Their health didn't decline prematurely. Their finances didn't fluctuate wildly. This isn't because they were luckier, but because they knew how to manage themselves properly. The concept of conservation, therefore, is not merely a survival technique. It is an attitude towards life. A profound understanding that life is a long journey. Using everything up today means lacking tomorrow. Showing everything off now is dangerous later. Preserving today is for tomorrow. When you begin practicing mindfulness, you'll find you don't need to struggle so hard against life. Life naturally becomes less harsh. Not because life has changed, but because you've changed your perspective. And when the energy field shifts, destiny will take a different direction. A more harmonious family life, a lighter body, more stable finances, a more peaceful mind. These are not random rewards. They are the natural results of living in accordance with the way. The ancients called this settling oneself, establishing one's destiny. It is obtained without striving, received without seeking, and sustained without haste. And that is the deepest goal of the concept of conceivable in human life. Imagine before you a mountain range standing still for thousands of years, silent, unassuming, unmoving. Yet it is this very stillness that makes the mountain so solid. At its foot lies the vast ocean, immense, deep, no large waves unless there is a strong wind. The ocean doesn't need to prove its depth. Simply existing is enough to draw all currents to it. The ancients looked at the mountains and the sea to understand a very simple truth. The strongest person is not the most boisterous, but the most tranquil. In the first half of life, many people live by showing off, by striving, by running fast, by proving themselves. But in the second half of life, that is no longer suitable. The body is no longer the same as before. The mind cannot withstand too many shocks. Fate also does not favor recklessness as in youth. The second half of life requires endurance, not ostentation. It requires inner strength, not attention. It requires stability. It doesn't require winning or losing. Those who don't understand this often continue to live life in a hurry. They waste energy. They strive to prove themselves. And then they become tired. They become exhausted. They become anxious. Not because life is harder, but because their way of living is out of sync. The ancients didn't advise people to give up. They advised people to change how they use their energy. When young, they should focus on learning. When they are mature enough, they should cultivate resilience. Concealment doesn't diminish you. Concealment makes you deeper. When you speak less, your words carry more weight. When you act slower, each step is more certain. When you don't show off, others are more unpredictable. And when you are unpredictable, you are safer. These are very practical laws of life that the ancients recognized very early on. Learning to be discreet doesn't require doing anything big. Start today. Talk a little less. React a little less. Show off a little less. Go to bed a little earlier. Take better care of your body. Take better care of your mind. Each of these little things is a small stone building a more solid foundation for the second half of your life. When you stop rushing to prove yourself, you begin to live in accordance with your own rhythm. When you stop unconsciously wasting resources, you begin to accumulate. When you accumulate enough, life will naturally change direction. Not noisy, not dramatic, but very real. Like a high mountain that doesn't need to go anywhere to remain there. Like a vast ocean that doesn't need to stir up waves to remain deep. If these things resonate with you, start learning the art of concealment today. Not to escape life, but to live longer in life. And if you want to continue following profound lessons from ancient wisdom to help you live a more peaceful and sustainable life, subscribe to the Simple Philosophy channel. Share this video with your loved ones. Sometimes just understanding one thing together can make life much easier.